I would love for you to go kind of the origin story of this organization, because it was, founded and established by your dad in 1989. So love for you to start with, again, the origin story of the company and the organization. And then I know that you came from a different industry and you jumped in to join working with your dad. And so kind of take us through the beginnings of both of those.
Yeah, absolutely. So my father, Kevin, been in real estate for many, many decades. And he was actually running a new home sales and marketing company for a large bank out of Southern California. He was running the Northern California region. And this was kind of through the early, late 80s. And around 88, 89, that bank decided to close up shop and pull out of the new home sales platform. And they basically, said to Kevin, hey, if you can retain any of these clients, the opportunity is yours, go for it. And that's truly, how the Advantage Group began, excuse me. Kevin was able to retain a few of those clients and really, grow it from there. And, from 89 up until the early 2000s, grew it into being, one of the largest new home sales and marketing companies, probably at the time. There's other, companies that are nationwide now, but at the time it was probably one of the largest in the nation. I mean, they were doing thousands of new home transactions a year throughout the state of California and Nevada. And, it was a wild ride for him and kind of building that. It was fun as a kid too, right? To see it and to see him, have that type of success from, humble beginnings. Nothing was given to him in the sense of, obviously the opportunity, presented itself, but he had to go get it, close it, and then build it, right? It wasn't just handed over. So definitely fun to watch and a cool story to kind of reflect back on for him. Obviously, in 2008, when the Great Recession, happened, that impacted a lot of our business. But again, I think that, that hard season, for the Advantage Group and for Kevin, kind of refined us and everything that, we did and stood for. And somehow, some way he, made it through that. Doing a variety of different things, but made it out on the other side. And, that's kind of when my role and experience kind of rolled in. I mean, I had worked in and around the Advantage Group on and off, literally, really since I was a teenager. But actually being here and entrenched in everything that we do really didn't start for me until about 2012. So not exactly, 2 decades of new home sales and marketing experience specifically. I mean, I've got over 40 years of just being around it in my lifetime. It's literally been my life. But as you mentioned, Dominic, I came from my background and my college experience was in finance. And so when I came out of college, I was working for a wealth management firm in Sacramento, doing, life insurance and investments, annuities, retirement. Didn't necessarily find that incredibly fulfilling. I mean, I found it interesting, and I kind of, as I was going through college, I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do. But I always found finance interesting, more for myself, I guess I would say. I was curious about it. Always, wanted to kind of have that knowledge and that education. So just kind of rolled into a career opportunity at the time. And so I did that and took it. And, when the market started to rebound in 2013, 2012, 2013, kind of when it bottomed out and started to rebound, an opportunity presented itself. And, the Advantage Group was getting busy again. And that's kind of where my transition into the role began.
Mm-hmm. And so to clarify for our audience, when you say the market, you are referring to the real estate market at that time, correct?
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
All markets, technically. I mean, the stock market definitely took a beating in that time frame too.
No,
It wasn't really the stock market. It was the economy and the world period. But yes, I was referring to the real estate market.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Perfect. And so, there's a lot of our audience who are part of being part of a greater family business and working with siblings or working with parents. And I'd like to, drill down on that a little bit more. What was it like working with your dad?
I mean, it's been a crazy experience. I think as I've gotten older, because when I first started working, here at the Advantage Group, I guess I would have been I guess like 28-ish, 27, 28. And so I always look at myself as a late bloomer, right? Like I'm always kind of reflecting back. I'm like, why didn't I realize that sooner? But maybe it's just my stubbornness or whatnot. But it's been a blessing. And to be honest, the older I get, the more I realize how lucky I've been to have a mentor like him in my life. Somebody that, anytime, and even still, I get like, it's almost like it just happens naturally. Like I get into a situation where I'm like trying to figure these things out, and I'm scratching notes, and I'm trying to like, have a soundboard for something. And he's like always the guy, that I can go to and bounce the ideas, because he's literally always going to be devil's advocate for me. He's never going to tell me what I want to hear. He's never going to, lay it to me easy. He's definitely going to, and he's got, over 4 decades of experience, in this market, and he's seen so many things. I mean, it's just like, it's just such and I've mentioned to Justin too. I mean, the platform that he built and the legacy that he's leaving, just in, how respected he is in the industry, the type of integrity that he's led with, over his career. I'm super proud to be able to, continue that, and have him, as our, as we've coined him, the sage advisor, as this point in our organization. And that's really what he loves to do. He loves to come in, he loves to look at, the things that we're being challenged by, and figure out how we can not be challenged by it, or how we can overcome those challenges. And that's really something that he loves to do.
Love it.